Hey guys, welcome back. So I want to start a little series on the channel, and what I'm planning on doing is kind of giving you a monthly recap of my squat, bench and deadlift every single month. So that gives me one long form video to do every month, which gives me a bit more schedule, and it gives me a consistent way to upload long forms, which I've been trying to work out for a while now. So this is the first one. This is January to February. We're going through and I'm going to be talking to you about my squat, my bench and my deadlift. Now, as it's SBD, we'll start with squat and then we'll go on to bench and then deadlift. So let's start with squats. Squats were probably my most improved. Well, not probably, they were the most improved in January. I started the month on 45 and each session I managed to add around 5 kg, give or take. And I ended the month with a 65 for 3 when I started the month with a 45 for 3. And I would say they were relatively around the same RPE, which is a massive improvement. I'm also really happy with squats because I fixed a lot about my form. I used to arch a lot in my back when the weight would get heavy, and it's kind of my way of panicking, really, just being like, oh crap, this is a big weight for me, quick, let's like kind of dump it in a way. But it didn't really work, so I fixed that by calming down a little bit, realizing I can push the weight and just kind of snapping out of it. That's the best way I can really describe it. But yeah, I've also really found the place to put the bar on my traps, because before I don't know what I was really doing before I actually had that think about the squat, and I've actually found like the comfortable place to place it on my back, and so I don't have to use that stupid pad. That's also a big plus. Now I'm also using my triceps a lot more, not in the lift obviously, but as kind of like a supporting muscle, not only when I unrack the weight, but also just there when I'm walking back as well, about to do the squat. And I just think overall I feel so much more stable and supportive than I did before, and that's why I just absolutely hated squats, because I just felt like I was not supportive whatsoever and I wasn't stable. But now I do. I feel like I am, and that is kind of this month. It was more of a form month rather than a weight month. It was just that I managed to put on weight to my squat as well, which is a massive plus. Now moving on to bench. Bench relatively stayed the same. It was me transitioning from a bodybuilding bench to a powerlifting bench. Now, in September last year, I've said it a million times, I'll say it again, I got 100 kg on bench, and I'm so pleased with myself for that. And so I'm gonna keep saying it until I get 140. No, but in all seriousness, it's just all about learning the powerlifting bench. So with the powerlifting bench, I mean with the bodybuilding bench it does as well, but it involves leg drive and not just the chest, because obviously bodybuilding you want to isolate the muscles more, even though bench is a compound, and just going and not pausing at the chest. But with the powerlifting bench, you really have to give it that kind of second, well, not so much second, but that like solidified pause on your chest before you push it back up. You've also got to think about your arch in your back. You've got to make sure your eyes are in the right position. I think I've found my correct width of the bar on my grip. All in all, bench is very good. So far, it's the strongest out of my lifts, only because for the 6 months last year where I was really locked in, I was focusing on bench the most. And that 6 months is continuing. I'm locked in forever now, you know. But I do want to get those squat and deadlifts above my bench, which, I mean, they are, but like, I mean, relatively. And then finally with my deadlift, it's probably my favorite compound movement. Definitely used to be bench, but now it's more deadlift. I'd started off the month really using my back, and it was giving me quite a lot of pain. Not like super crazy pain, because it's only like 100 kg, 110 max I think it was, but it was giving me unnecessary pain. I think that's the word to use. But I just used this month to improve the form, improve my legs and their roles and responsibilities within the lift, which I think is very helpful. So I'm no longer just using my back and looking like a right angle triangle. Downsides of this is, or you could say upsides, is that I have a bigger ass now. I mean, yeah, I do. And not that I mean, I had a dump truck in the first place, but you know, never saying that again. I've been having to go up to girls on the glute bridge and the glute machine and ask how many sets they have left, and it's such a weird feeling, because imagine I'm just coming up and I don't like it. But in order to become a good powerlifter, you have to inherit the zest, I think, in those areas. It's just not ideal. If you were to say what's the one least kind of manly muscle, and then God definitely linked the zest to the lift requirements. Because it's just not ideal how the one muscle that really matters in powerlifting is your bum. And it's also the zestiest movements and also muscle group in general. But yeah, overall, it's been a very successful month and I'm looking forward to see where the Feb to March takes us. I'll be giving another update then. But yeah, if you're interested in my journey at all, then just subscribe, like the video. I would really appreciate that because it helps a ton. I will see you soon, but with another update, I'll see you in a month, mate. We're not doing this. Okay, alright, we obviously met recently.